Today we are going to paint echinacea flower. This is some kind of a pink daisy and it looks really amazing, especially in summer, real summer mood. I'm going to work with this photo reference and we'll use cotton paper to make this sketch. Let's go! I'm starting with analyzing the reference, and I would like to take this flower, this and this, so 3, and you can choose your own flowers, it doesn't really matter. And I put them on the paper, big one, smaller one, this one. So this is some kind of triangle, but at the same time this one doesn't go just exactly from the middle of the previous one, so a bit to the left. Now really details, just these rounds, just this suggestion on the petals. We are not going to count all the petals from the photo and make all of them. It's more about sketch, it's more about emotion. Let's talk about the colors. For the petals, let's choose any pink you have in your palette. It can be opera rose, it can be a quinacridone rose, so you decide what color you want or you have. For the shadows of the petals, I'm going to use Alizarin crimson mixed together with ultramarine deep. So these two goes for the shadow. For the middle part, which is either brown or also orange, I'm going to use burnt sienna for the light and burnt sienna mixed with violet for the shadow. If you mix them, you get a very nice color. This is mixed one, violet and burnt sienna, and you get this very nice purple chocolate color. What can be used for the background and for the grass and for the stems, you decide. In case you have some very beautiful granulation color, you can use them. I have dusk yellow, tundra violet, lunar blue. These are granulation colors and they do not belong to any usual set. You have to buy them just as a tube separately, but it's not necessary. You can mix some natural green, for example olive green, together with either indigo or Paynes gray. Please don't use black, because with black it's a bit more pale as a result. So Paynes gray or indigo could be better. And we are going to start with middle parts. For that I'm having a synthetic brush, that's Escoda Perla number 12. But any synthetic with very sharp edge of a round form would be good. So I will start with this one, a bit of water for the middle. This is water. The light comes on this photo from the right, so on the right part I'm adding burnt sienna. For the shadow part, you remember burnt sienna mixed with purple. Like that. You have light and shadow. Now with clean brush I'm making the petals, and it could be that it will bleed but it's not an issue. Any pink you have, you add to petals. Just as strokes, without being too accurate. You can change a bit also the pink one. If you have several, why not to do that? And now let's mix alizarin together with blue for shadow. More here because it's the shadow part, less here. Now I come back to my shadow color, which is brown and violet, and will make it here even darker. That, and will pull this a bit between the petals. The shadow that I mix is very thick, no water, just pure pigment. Yeah, something like that. Let's go to the next one. The algorithm is the same. Water, burnt sienna from the right because it's light, very thick burnt sienna mixed with purple from the left. Water to make petals. Pink. Another pink. Shadow, which is alizarin mixed with blue. And come back to my dark to make the shadow more intensive and a bit separate the petals. Some orange? Why not? It's getting brighter. Next story. Water, burnt sienna, shadow, you notice that I'm making these petals coming from down to the center. Because if you start exactly from the middle, all the pigment will bleed to the petals. That's why I'm starting like that. But painting can be a different way. You can do like that from the middle. A bit different hue with pink. Shadow. And coming back to the shadow part, adding more shadow here and a bit to separate some of the leaves. Orange. So now I'm going to work with the background. I will water my background on some places very close to the leaves, on some places I'm not coming very close, some accidental movements. Now here I touched these upper parts and it bleeded. It's okay, because that's about the sketch, it's not about the like realistic painting. Just some chaos with my brush. And I will start with olive green. My goal is not to cover the whole paper. So the same chaotic movements. On the places where I have water, it bleeds. On the places I don't have water, I have a sharp edge. I can come closer to some of the petals. We'll add some darker color. It can be olive mixed with Paynes gray, or it can be mixed with Indigo, you decide. A bit of water and it bleeds. That's Indigo. I took this purplish color, why not? Water. No logic, just make it a bit diverse, not just one color. That's important. What I would like to do now, I would like to make some splashes. For splashes, I love this brush. Splashes, you can make any color you like. Just a bit more color here so that it doesn't finish like that. This is the purple from the palette that I used for the shadow. So now let's make splashes. It can be olive green, it can be some darker color, the same as Paynes gray, but very thick, no water, very thick. So some darker lines. Also dark splashes. And also a bit details here between some of the petals. But only around some of them, not just everywhere, because it will look too detailed and may have a bit of decorative effect. I also love the color which is called lavender or royal blue. These two. These are with white pigment inside, but you can also mix them yourself if you add a bit of white watercolor to some blue and some more splashes like blue ones. You can also add a bit of salt, just normal salt. Salt gives some effects, they look like some kind of a stars, but only when the paint is still wet. So when the paint is dry, salt doesn't work. This is dark. So, I wish you good luck.